Hi ladies, this is Amber Mellon and welcome to my channel. Welcome. If you are new here, thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to this channel and our Moon and Star Therapy community. If you are not new here, then hey girl, how are you doing today? Thank you ladies so much for tuning in. Today's video is all about my postpartum experience after having my baby girl, Asara. But before I get into this video, I just want to do a little exercise. It's something I'm going to start doing on all of my videos. If no one has told you they love you today, I just want to say I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. You are a beautiful being, a beautiful soul. I know you're going to do great things. There is nothing that you can't do. And before we jump into this video, I want you to stretch your right arm, stretch it out wide, take your other arm, your left arm, stretch that one out wide, and I want you to bring it around and hold yourself, grab yourself tight, squeeze. Amber Mellon just gave you a hug today. I just gave you a hug, girl. If no one grabbed you and hugged you today and told you that you can do it and they love you, I'm telling you, girl, I love you and I know you can do it. There's nothing that you can't do. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, or you can do all things, whoever you believe, you can do all things. All right, so let's jump into this video and talk about the postpartum, which is I'm not going to say it. My postpartum experience was very, very difficult. If you guys watched my one of my videos, I was just giving you an update on how things are going and my labor and delivery experience. It was very traumatic. Nothing about it went good, and that's okay because I know that challenges often bring solutions, and those solutions often help you to help other people. So I'm happy to talk about the challenges I went through because I know it's going to help, you ladies, whoever's watching this on this channel. And if this video helps you, if you ladies resonate with this, if you enjoy this video, please do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps my channel, it helps me to grow, and that's a free way to show your love and support towards me, or just drop some green hearts in the comment section. So when I came home, when I was in the hospital a few days after delivering Asara and after my C-section, I was so happy. Like, my emotions were all over the place. I was happy, excited, sad, and kind of like this feeling of blah, like a big question mark. Like, basically a feeling like, what the hell just happened? So yeah, that's honest. That's 100. That's how I felt. What the hell just happened? My hormones were all over the place. They were just like up and down. I have never experienced anything like that in my entire life. My emotions were just shot. Like, my hormones, my emotions, it was different. And I did suffer some call it, I call it the baby blues. Some people call it postpartum depression. I don't want to say that I was depressed, because it's really hard for me to get it, because I'm such an optimistic person. I do not like to stay in that energy. But after having my baby and coming home, even though I don't like to stay in that energy, from a hormone and a scientific perspective, that's just what it was. It was something that I just could not ignore or get out of. It didn't matter what I did. So I'm just going to tell you ladies what I did to cope with that. One of the things that was so funny is I have a song that is for Asara. It's called Here Comes the Sun by Nina Simone. And I also like the Beatles version of that song. And every time my husband or my sister would play that song, I would literally start crying. Like, I could not stop crying because I don't know, it's something about that song. It just resonates with me, and it's just so special to me and my daughter. And the whole time I was trying to manifest getting pregnant, it just made me cry. I could not listen to that song without bawling. And my sister and my husband would just laugh at me all the time. Another thing about the postpartum depression and baby blues was crying all the time, just crying for no reason. Like, I literally would be breastfeeding and tears would just start running down my eyes. I would be pumping, and it's like the more I pumped, the more the tears came. And it was just really, really weird because, again, I'm a very lighthearted, bubbly, optimistic person. I do not like to be negative. I do not like to talk about my problems. I kind of like to deal with them internally. And then once I deal with them, you know, that's pretty much how I am. Then I like to tell people, hey, this is what I did. You know, this is what helped me. So just being in that energy was really weird and, you know, really different. Plus the pain from having a C-section. I think it's some, like, women don't talk about the pain of a C-section because they probably don't want to scare you. And I know a lot of women who have had multiple C-sections, and they, you know, they just go through it like a G, and they don't really, you know, say like, oh girl, it hurts so bad. You know, no one really told me how bad a C-section hurts. I have heard that, you know, women say like, you don't want to have a C-section. You want to do your best to have your baby naturally. That's the best way. Even if you have to have an epidural, you know, having the baby vaginally is the best way. You don't want to have a C-section because that C-section life is no joke. I was so swollen coming from the hospital. I did not even recognize myself. Like my face sort of looked the same, but my body was swollen. Like it was like just blown up. And especially my stomach, my lower abdominal area, you know, from having the surgery, it was really, really swollen. Like I didn't even recognize myself. And the hospital I went to, they didn't have any full length mirrors. You know, the mirror was like here and up. And I feel like there was a good reason for that. I don't know if they have them in the regular rooms for people who have, you know, a baby vaginally, but the postpartum C-section room I was in, the mirror was like this. And thank God, because I could just feel like my body, like my legs were swollen. I still had a catheter inside of me. You know, I think two days after having a SARA, after having the C-section. Never had a catheter before in my life. That was a very weird experience. You know, my legs were swollen. It was just really, really traumatic. And I think that's one of the reasons why in one of the update videos that I posted here on YouTube after I had my baby, I was like, no, I am not having another baby. I am done. Like, I'm one and done. Like, I'm good. But, you know, time heals everything. And I'm in a better space mentally about the whole process. My goal is to get really, really healthy and lose this weight. So that way next time, you know, I have if me and my husband decide to go ahead and have another baby, which I do want another one. I'm just going to tell you, I do want another baby, but I do want to be as healthy and as fit as I can be. Because a lot of times they say if you had a C-section before, most likely doctors will want you to have a C-section again. And I don't want that. If I can have, you know, the next baby vaginally, it doesn't have to be natural, but if I could have the next baby vaginally, that would be the best thing that I would want, because that C-section recovery process was very painful. Just within the first 24 hours, like, you know, just taking a breath hurt, like breathing hurt so bad. When you have a C-section, they give you this little breathing kind of contraption where you have to take deep breaths and breathe in air from this tube and push air back in to strengthen your diaphragm and to strengthen your lungs, because if you're not breathing deeply, you can end up catching pneumonia. You know, you can get sick because you're not taking in air. So that was difficult and challenging. Something I didn't want to do with being a new mom is trying to remember to breathe in this contraption, so I don't get sick. And just not being able to get your child, you know, you can't get up fast, like you feel helpless. So that definitely contributed to some sadness and some postpartum depression, with just being in the hospital and hearing my baby girl cry and having to wait for my husband to bring her to me, not being able to get up and go and pick her up like I wanted to. And, you know, I'm a very stubborn person. So they were telling me, you know, take it easy, you know, don't get up. But I was doing my best to try to walk, even though it hurt so bad, to try to walk and get my baby and use my stomach muscles and all of that, even though it hurt like hell. It hurted so bad. And then the stench of like them doing the surgery and whatever type of glue they use, invisible girl, I don't even know. I just know I felt a lot of tugging and heard some spray action going on, and the bandages. And so the smell of the bandages is something that I will never forget. That smell just taunted me while I was in the hospital, and after I came home, the smell of those whatever chemical they used to close me up was a constant reminder of the traumatic experience of not being able to push my baby out naturally, well, I would say vaginally, and having to have a C-section, and just how hard it was, like the whole experiencing contractions, the pain of it, the closeness of it. They had me in all type of positions to try to get her out. I mean, I was on stirrups, I was sideways, I was backwards, I was all kind of ways, child, and baby girl was just not coming out. And so smelling that chemical, whatever they use to close me up, it just mentally messed with me, you know. And so talking about it, I'm starting to feel all that stuff. So yeah, it was very challenging for me coming home, and just when I got home, seeing my body, seeing how swole, like my legs were swollen, and I had to take so much medicine in the hospital. I tested for Strep B before I had my baby girl, which it's not harmful to a mother, but it can be harmful to the baby once the baby starts to pass through the vagina and come out. It could be a very serious problem. And so when I had my baby, when I was in the delivery process of like trying to push her out, they had to make sure they gave me like antibiotics every 4 hours in my IV. Not just that, getting the getting induced, getting the balloon, getting the Pitocin, all of that. Every time I smelled that chemical smell, that stitches, it just reminded me of like every step, like everything that I went through having my baby. And even though it was a traumatic experience, I would do it all over again for her. I prayed for her, I asked God for her. I really wanted a baby, and I'm so happy. I would not change a thing. I would go through it again for her. But it was hard, it was challenging, and feeling that hormonal imbalance that women go through after coming home from the baby is challenging. And it was something that was kind of hard, a little bit hard too, for my husband to wrap his mind around, because he's so used to me being like the positive one, the one that's just spreading love and sunshine and bubbly and encouraging. I was not that person. I was like blah, like I was just in a blah. And so the things that I did to try to cope with that until I was able to come out of that energy was I watched things that made me laugh. Like Martin is my favorite comedian ever, so I had the BET app, I was watching Martin. I just tried to do things that made me happy, whether it be watching TV, whether it be watching a movie. I did not watch anything sad because I was already sad. So it's like I only watched things that were going to make me laugh, make me happy. I went out and did things that made me happy, whether it be, window shopping, or, buying me something nice, or, going out to a restaurant to eat, listening to music, resting, getting sleep, diving into my favorite series on Netflix. Those are the things that helped me, because even though I tried to, try to come out of it and be positive, emotionally is like I felt every bit of that sadness and, the postpartum depression. I felt every bit of it. And I used to think that postpartum depression only happened to some women, but now, you know, that I've had my baby girl, I'm pretty sure it happens to every woman. Now, the intensity of it can vary, you know, and some women don't deal with it at all. I certainly didn't think I would deal with postpartum depression because Amber Mellon is such a positive person, but you know, I did, and I'm glad I did. It's caused me to be more empathetic, more sensitive to women when they go through that. And some women, it lasts for a long time. Like, lucky for me, it lasted, I would say, probably about 3-4 months. That 4th month, I was good. Another thing that helped me too is just being around family. You know, when I had family around, it helped me to get my mind off of it, and they were able to help me, you know, with Asara. Yeah, having family around, just going out and doing stuff, you know, going to the mall, you know, talking, laughing, that definitely helped me. And, you know, my husband was a big encourager of, like, you know, when Asara was little, you know, now, you know, I would say when Asara was like 4, 5, 6 months, she's all about me, all about mama. Like, she doesn't want to go nowhere without mama. But like when she was in the newborn stage, I didn't know newborns can't see that well, but she you know, she did better. She was really, really easy, a really, really easy baby. Like, she just slept all the time, and so she was a really good baby, you know, didn't really have no problem. So my husband was like, you know, babe, go out, you know, you need time for yourself, you need time for a break, you know, stay out, you know, as long as you need to, just make sure, you know, you leave me milk here, because, you know, I was breastfeeding. So he was very, you know, supportive. And I just had to tell him, like, you know, if you see me crying, if you see me sad, like, it has nothing to do with you. It doesn't mean that I'm not happy about being a mom. It doesn't mean that I'm not enjoying this experience. It's really just something in me that I just have to let out. It's really just hormones. And again, like I said, my hormones were all over the place. Another thing that was really troublesome is I ended up catching MRSA while I was in the hospital. I don't know how. I know I got it from the hospital for sure. I just don't know what throughout the, get your words out, Amber. I just don't know what part of the process, like when I was in the hospital, at what stage I got it, but I know I got it from the hospital. But I just knew that something wasn't right. Like, after about 3 months, I kept breaking out in these, I kept having these bumps to appear. They would start as like red, small, tiny bumps, and then they would just get bigger over time and hard and painful. And then they would like just burst open and like ooze all this stuff out, and then it would turn black. And that happened like 2 or 3 times. And the 4th time it happened, I said, okay, something is going on here. And so I made an appointment to go to the doctor, and I was like, hey, something's going on. I explained to her what was happening. The doctor tried to tell me that, you know, it's nothing, just put some A&D ointment on it and, you know, let it dry out, you'll be fine. But I was like, no, I have never experienced anything like this in my life. And it was, I would get them like, you know, on my vajayjay, I would get them on my stomach, I would get them on my thigh. And I was just telling her how painful it was. And I was like, it basically feels like a hair bump from the devil, basically. Like, this is the most painful thing I've ever experienced. I was like, I think there's something more going on. And I told her I did research on it. And I was like, I think you guys need to, like, test this. So she tried to tell me it was nothing. Luckily, she swabbed it, tested it. Test came back, like, a few days later that I had MRSA. And I'm just like, how in the hell do I get MRSA? And she was like, you probably got it from the hospital from delivering your baby, because the doctor where I actually went back to and she tested it, she actually helped me, which, you know, she was there helping me deliver my baby. And she was just like, yeah, I'm glad we tested it. I'm going to send you some antibiotics, you know, soon to put on there to take. Well, yeah, they were oral antibiotics. So I took it. Seemed like it cleared up, but then it came back. And so I made another appointment. You know, I was just like, you know, I'm so sick of dealing with this. This is such a nuisance to my life, you know. So went to the doctor again, basically he was like, yeah, you still are dealing with MRSA. Told me like how you can contract it, how everyone probably has it, but it doesn't show up. You know, they don't do a lot of vaccinations for it because it's communicable, blah, blah, blah. So now I have to, for 6 months, I have to, well, I've been doing it for a couple of months now. I'll basically stop in November, but I have to wash with this oral bacteria rinse wash. I have to wash with it, take a shower with it twice a day for a week, and I have to put this cream in my nose, you know, twice a day for a week for the next 6 months. He's like, that's the way to get rid of it. He was like, because the bacteria lives in your nose. And I think I probably got MRSA because, you know how you try to like prepare yourself and, you know, get a wax and, you know, clean everything up down there. That's what I did. And I shouldn't have done that. I should have just went in there free, natural, and happy, because I just think, you know, shaving, making sure everything was good down there before I went and had a SARA. I think it was more exposed, and I just end up contracting something. So that was very difficult and annoying part of my labor and delivery thing, is contracting MRSA from the hospital. I don't know from what tool, I don't know from whose hands, I don't know from what, it was from the oxygen thing. I really don't know. I just know that it was a pain in my butt. And I still, you know, a couple of months after having her, I was just still dealing with the side effects of that. And I just couldn't believe it. So yeah, the postpartum is real. It's real, it's difficult, it's challenging. And my best advice for mothers, you know, having a baby is, if you're feeling a certain way, you know, be honest with yourself. It's okay. Be honest with yourself about how you feel. Feel it. And then do your best to let it go, talk about it. And if you're still feeling that way and it's not going anywhere, I would just encourage you to do things that relax you, make you happy. You know, it's the summertime. Ooh, excuse me. Maybe spend time in water, spend time in nature, listen to high vibrational music. You know, surround yourself with family who's not going to get on your nerves, by the way, because not all family members are good for help. So yeah, surround yourself by the family members who let you be you. Don't try to boss you or control you, boss you around, tell you to do with your baby. Just because they're older and you're younger, they get mad because you don't want to do everything they tell you to do. Like, no, don't be around those people. You need people who are going to respect what you want to do for your child, respect your boundaries, and who are going to make you laugh and help in the healing process. People who carry that loving and healing energy around them. Surround yourself with those people, and don't be afraid to tell someone what you're going through. Make sure you're sharing it with your partner, how you're feeling. Let them know, like, hey, this is postpartum depression. This is something I'm going through. I'm happy to be a mom. I wouldn't change it for the world. It just is what it is. You just feel the way you feel, and it's just going to take some time, and that's okay. That is a part of mental health. Being honest with yourself is mental health. I know it might not seem like it, but it is. And just be patient with yourself and gentle with yourself, going through this process, and know that it's going to pass. It's not going to last forever. And just because you feel sad, maybe you feel depressed, doesn't mean that you are not happy to be a mom, because I was definitely happy to be a mom. Y'all know that I prayed for it. It was on my vision board, talked to God about it every day, my angels, everything. Got in a whole attitude and was all sad about it when it wasn't happening. So your girl definitely wanted to be pregnant and wanted to be a mom. It's just that postpartum depression. It's just something you feel, and some people might take it the wrong way and be like, oh, but this is what you wanted. I thought this is what you wanted, and it is what you want, and you're happy about it. You're as happy as can be, but at the same time, you are also going through this challenging process. So just be honest, be real, surround yourself with people who are loving, friends who are loving and healing, and do things that make you happy, okay? and be honest with yourself and to others about how you feel, and make sure you set healthy boundaries for people that they do not cross. That is important too. And trust the process. Know that this too shall pass. And just be easy breezy with yourself. Okay, be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself, and don't get all worked up and mental in a headspace about, oh, I'm sad, I'm a new mom, I'm supposed to be happy, I pray for this. It's not you. It's a chemical imbalance. It's hormones. And so I'm back to my normal Amber self, and you will too. Okay. Well, this video was long. I hope you ladies enjoyed it. If this video has helped you, please, 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 ladies, please hit that like button. Drop some green hearts in the comment, or leave a comment and let me know how, did you go through postpartum, or do you feel like you're going through it right now, or if you go through it in the future, this video has helped you. I would love to know. All right, ladies, I love you. I hope you are happy, healthy, and safe. There's nothing you can't do. Anything that you want, you can do. Anything that you want to have, you can have. With God, all things are possible. And I will see you ladies in the next video. Love you. Bye.